Today is going to be a pretty short lesson. It's really going to be more about how you get the things that you want and how to avoid the things that you don't want.
I love bookkeeping.
Hey, it's Ben Robinson and welcome to the I Love Bookkeeping Show. And today we're going to mix things up a little bit. We're going to talk about mindset because out of all the things that we could talk about, this is the most important one. And today is going to be a pretty short lesson. It's really going to be more about how you get the things that you want and how to avoid the things that you don't want. So I'll first start off by saying that this is not me giving you a rah-rah speech, right? I'll tell you that it is hard to motivate ourselves every single day. When we work for ourselves, guess what? We're the boss. All the bucks stop with us. All the struggles come to us and all the benefits come to us as well. So how do we stay motivated? Because there are times, when we're busy and then there's times when we're slow. It is sort of a roller coaster. So let's talk about what motivation is first. Well, motivation is energy. It's a form of energy. And like any other type of energy, right? It can go up and it can go down. It can be depleted and it can be at a surplus level. And one of the things that we have to do is we have to watch our motivation level. And when our energy is down, and by the way, I've got staff behind me that are listening to this going, hey, why don't you take some of your own salt? Why don't you take some of your own medicine? I have to, right? I have to re-energize myself. And so I want you to think of ways and remember that your motivation is something that is not infinite. That's something that goes away. And what is stuff that recharges you? Okay, things that are outside of your business, activities that you enjoy doing, people that you enjoy spending time with, things that's charging your battery. So as you go throughout your day and as you go throughout your week, are you putting stuff into your battery? Are you charging it or are you just depleting it? And so when you're looking at your to-do list, when you're looking at your big 3 for the week, which we've talked about in a previous episode, if you're looking at that and those things are going to deplete you, that's okay because when we work, a lot of times that's depleting us. But if you're doing what we call your unique abilities, if you're doing those things that come natural to you, that you're excellent at, and you could do all day long, and it happens to be work, then that's something that you need to do more of. Okay. And we talked about that too in a previous lesson where we were doing a task audit and figuring out what are your unique abilities, to use a term coined by Dan Sullivan. So be thinking about that motivation. How do you recharge your batteries? Are you being intentional about scheduling that time? That's something that I'm not very good at and I need to become better at because it's just like anything else. Mowing the lawn, cutting your hair, it's something that doesn't happen once and it just is done forever. It's something that needs to be done constantly. So first and foremost, how are you motivating yourself? How are you getting that energy back? Second thing let's talk about are your thoughts. Okay. Thoughts are so important. And the older I get and the more that I read and the more that I experience this, the more that I realize how crucial the thoughts that I put into my mind actually play out. Now, you can't just think of something that you want and it's going to happen. But that's the genesis of how you go about getting things that you want, is to think about them, all right, to dwell on them. And I use an affirmation. And I learned this from a great book called The Master Key System, written probably about 100 years ago by a guy by the name of Charles Hannell. You can get it on Amazon. It's a great read. It's an odd book, the way in which it's structured, but he has affirmations in there that he talks about. And I use the one that he has every single day, whether I'm walking or whether I'm just, I think it's impressed upon my subconscious now, this affirmation. Now, we can't lie to ourselves when we do an affirmation because our subconscious mind is very smart. It knows that if you say, I'm wealthy and I only work with great clients. I mean, these are things that you want to get to, but it's probably not the case right now. So what you want to do is you want to think about the very thing, the elements of what you want. So if it's money, you're saying the word success, wealth. You're continuing to put these into your mind. You're thinking about the things that you want. You're thinking about the attributes that they are going to bring to your life, and you're repeating those to yourself. Now, the third thing that I want to talk about is concentrating on the things that we really want to avoid. You see, I see this a lot with people when they're talking about their personal finances with debt. They talk about, oh my gosh, I'm in debt. I'm never going to get out of debt. This is always going to be the case. This is just the way things are. And I tell you what, that's the way things are going to be because you're impressing upon your mind that this is how life is. And this is in your conscious mind, and eventually your subconscious mind picks up on it. And it just says, hey, I'm going to manifest exactly what you're thinking over here, conscious mind. Now, I am certainly not a psychologist. I could give you a lot of different books, but the Charles Hannell book that I mentioned earlier, The Master Key System, system is a great place for you to start on that. And I'll tell you, again, this is something that I need to come back and listen to this video. Heck, I might even be recording it just for myself so that I can listen to, like Ron Swanson in Parks and Rec, listening to himself when he makes some foolish decisions. So I need to come back and listen to this. But really watching those thoughts, thinking about what it is that you actually want. And that's actually a subject for another episode here on I Love Bookkeeping, is determining what it is that you want. Most of us haven't really been intentional about that. We have abstract ideas about what it is that we want. So this is just a little mindset reminder that it is so important. As a matter of fact, it's the most important thing that we can work on in our business. It's the thing that's going to drive all of our other success or failures, things that we want or things that we want to avoid. So thanks for listening to this I Love Bookkeeping episode. I want to encourage you to go to ilovebookkeeping.com, check out all the shows, check out the notes that we have, as well as information about all of our courses, because in those courses, we focus a lot on mindset, because again, we know that this is a critical driver in your success as a bookkeeping professional. Thanks again for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode of I Love Bookkeeping. Head on over to ilovebookkeeping.com. There, you're going to find all of the shows, the notes, and some other great goodies that we have for you there. Now, if you'd like to be a guest on the I Love Bookkeeping show, there is a link that says Be a Guest. Go in there, and we'll walk you through the process of getting on the show. And finally, to discover more about our programs, go to the courses page on the ilovebookkeeping.com site. There you have it, another great episode of I Love Bookkeeping. Thank you for being a proud listener, and thank you for being a bookkeeping professional. Enjoy the rest of your week.
I love bookkeeping. Here's a little shout to all my friends working hard at keeping the books. You want to change your life, you want to grow that biz, it's not as hard as it looks. Be a money guide, a profit coach, step up your game and see